What's up guys and welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Trivia. This week we're sticking with the same vein as when we did the Chemical Archetype last week. We are doing the Chemicritters, also known as the Chemical Beasts. It's an archetype of level 2 and level 8 Gemini monsters with a variety of attributes and types. Chemicritter monsters are named after a chemical substance and an animal, while Polychemicritter monsters are given names that are a combination of two creatures. Each member of the archetype has a symbol on their bodies to represent the chemical substance that they are based on as well. They were first introduced in Invasion Vengeance. All level 2 Chemicritter monsters, when you combine their attack and defense, equal 2,100, while the level 8 Poly ones equal 3,000. So how about we look at each of the Chemicritters and what chemical and creature they are based on, starting with Chemicritter Carbo Crab. His effect is this card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is a normal monster on the field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with this effect. During your main phase, you can send one Gemini monster from your deck to the graveyard, then add one Gemini monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Chemicritter Carbo Crab once per turn. Now, this monster's chemical basis is carbon, and its animal basis is a crab. Carbon is a chemical element with a symbol of C and an atomic number of 6. It is non-metallic and trivalent, making 4 electrons available to form covalent chemical bonds. The letter C can be seen on this monster's chest, representing the carbon as its basis of the monster. Now, this is the first fire aqua type monster since fire KRAKENs, a very rare combination in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. This monster's right claw appears to be made of diamond, which is very relevant as carbon, when placed under pressure and after millions of years along with heat and time, turns into diamond. And this monster appears here in the artwork of Catalyst Field. Chemicritter Hydron Hawk. So this bit's going to apply to all the Chemicritters there. This card is treated as a normal monster, blah blah blah. So we'll skip that bit and we'll just go to his unique effect. You could discard one card, then target one Gemini monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. You can only use the effect of Chemicritter Hydron Hawk once per turn. So this monster's chemical basis is hydrogen, and its animal basis is a hawk. Hydrogen is a chemical element with a chemical symbol of H and an atomic number of 1. Hydrogen is the lightest element on the periodic table, with an atomic weight of 1.008. Roughly. The letter H can be seen on this monster's chest, which obviously references the hydrogen basis for the monster. And this monster appears here in the artwork of Catalyst Field. Chemicritter Ox. During your main phase, you can special summon one Gemini monster from your hand, and if you do, all Gemini monsters you currently control become that monster's original level until the end of this turn. You can only use the effect of Chemicritter Ox once per turn. This monster's chemical basis is oxygen, and its animal basis is an ox. Oxygen is a chemical element with a symbol O, an atomic number 8. It is a member of the chalcogen group on the periodic table and is a highly reactive non-metal and oxidizing agent that readily forms oxides with most elements as well as other compounds. By mass, oxygen is the third most abundant element in the universe, after hydrogen and helium. The letter O can be seen on this monster's forehead, representing that the oxygen was the basis of this monster. And this monster appears here in the artwork of Catalyst Field. Polychemicritter Diox Ogre. His effect is the normal summon of a Gemini monster cannot be negated. Once per turn, you can banish one Gemini monster from your graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. This monster's chemical basis is carbon dioxide, and its animal basis is an ox and a crab. Carbon dioxide is an odorless, colourless gas with a density of about 60% higher than that of air. Carbon dioxide consists of a carbon atom covalently double bonded to 2 oxygen atoms. In the case of this monster, the carbon atom is Chemicritter Carbo Crab, and the 2 oxygen atoms are the Chemicritter Ox. This card is tied with Phoenix GEARFRIED for the highest attack of all Gemini monsters. Polychemicritter Hydreigon. When another Gemini monster is normal summoned, you can make that monster gain 500 attack and defense. If a Gemini monster you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy one other card you control instead. This monster's chemical basis is water, and its animal basis is a Hydra and a dragon. Water, aka H2O, is a polar inorganic compound that is, at room temperature, a tasteless and odorless liquid, nearly colourless with only a hint of blue. In the case of this monster, the H2O it is composed of are the oxygen atom monsters Chemicritter Oxyox and the 2 hydrogen atom monsters Chemicritter Hydrogen Hawk. This card's name is an awesome pun on hydrogen, Hydra and dragon. Hydreigon. Hydrogen. It's brilliant, I love it. Now, just before we move on to the final Chemicritter monster, I just want to talk about something that I discovered in research on water. So, have you ever heard of something called dihydrogen monoxide? No? Well, funny thing is, in 1983, on April Fool's Day, the Durand Express, which is a weekly newspaper in Durand, reported that dihydrogen oxide had been found in the city's water pipes and warned that it was fatal if inhaled and could produce blistered vapors. So, for anyone that hasn't got the joke just yet, the joke is dihydrogen monoxide is just water. It's just a different name for it. So they were telling people it was in the pipes, and of course they're just talking about water, but it's pretty damn funny. And when you type it into Google, there's like so many memes of it now. It's pretty awesome. Fun joke. Vola Chemicritter Mephidraco. It requires 2 level 8 Gemini monsters. When this card is Xyz summoned, you can target 1 Gemini monster in your graveyard, special summon it. While this card has an Xyz material, monsters your opponent control cannot target Gemini monsters you control for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target Gemini monsters you control with card effects. When a Gemini monster is normal summoned, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, make your opponent send 1 card from their hand or field to the graveyard. It's their choice. This monster's chemical basis is methanol, and its animal basis is a Hydra. Methanol is a chemical with the formula CH3OH. Methanol acquired the name wood alcohol because it was once produced as a byproduct of the destructive distillation of wood. Methanol is the simplest alcohol. It is a light, volatile, colourless, flammable liquid with a distinctive odour, very similar to that of ethanol, also known as drinking alcohol. However, unlike ethanol, methanol is highly toxic and unfit for consumption. The chemical symbol of methanol, CH3OH, is shown by the 4 H's and the O's surrounding the C on this monster's chest. This card's attack and defense are equal to the respective combined attack and defense of Polychemicritter Dioxogre and Polychemicritter Hydreigon, which can both be special summoned simultaneously via the effect of Burnout and are valid Xyz materials for this card. And this monster appears in the artwork of Burnout and Catalyst Field. And with that, guys, that's another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Trivia done. I thought since we did chemicals last week, we might as well go with it again this week. And then we've covered practically all the chemical monsters, and I think that's pretty awesome. Let me know if you learned anything new in this episode. I'd love to know more. And if you guys know anything more about the periodic table or about chemicals, let me know in the comment section below. But other than that, thanks a lot for watching. Catch you later.